How's it going? So I just finished Bible study and well, guess what it was? It was 9/11. Luke 9, 1 through 10, 9, 110, 4, 3, 2, 3, 7. What was the Zoom number on that baby?
Don't take a walk.
You did have like a 203 for potential February 3rd. Well, I also looked at the movie Inception and decided to load it. Don't know why I had never done that before. July 16th. It's 4-5, of course, Trump's number, 45. That's always coding Donald Trump. 45:98, the 98th verse is your crowning. It's your rising. It's perfect. It hits on 2/16, our potential rising day. And then there's the movie Tenet. And Tenet came out on September 3rd. It is at 888 days on February 8th. On the 6th, of course, it's 886. That is one day after a full moon. If you run this to the 16th, it's 896 and would be 894 on a potential offing day. What other numbers are big besides 886, 888? So I don't know. You do get 2, 9, 11. You do, don't you? 29 months, 11 days. So on the 14th, Valentine's Day, it is 29 months, 11 days, or 9/11 coded. Okay. I respect that. This is what we do here, by the way. If you're new, we just, the Bible study channel is for the truth in God's word. The Bible study channel is called TS Daily Bible Studies. And if you click playlist, you can get you can start at Daniel, my 6th study. Right now I'm on Daniel, my 9th study. There's the Luke study. We're in both of those right now, but you want to start at the beginning. 2 Corinthians. I always go back and forth at the end of each New Testament study to either Daniel and Revelation. Right now I'm in Daniel. And there's the 8th Revelation study over there. 1 Corinthians study. When you click 1 Corinthians, for instance, I'm in the.
All right, so we're going to start.
I'm at Daniel 3. It'll take you all the way through. So you're always going to get an overlap, no matter where you start. If you want to start at Daniel, you're going to get an overlap. If you start at my Daniel 9th study, for instance, you are already at Luke chapter 5. So there's always going to be an overlap, but that's what the playlists are for. You can find whatever you want. I mean, you can find, how does he teach to this particular passage in the Bible? You can find it on the playlist. Again, how would you do that? You would give me one. Let's just say, what does he say about Revelation 17, the 7 kings of Mystery Babylon? Or let's say 1 Corinthians 2:14. 1 Corinthians 2:14. You come down and you find the Corinthians study. Now, I haven't gone through the whole New Testament yet, but I am in that process. So there's your 1 Corinthians study. It's 42 days worth.
All right, so we're going to start.
So it's called
Corinthians.
1 Corinthians 2:14, you said. 1 Corinthians 2, 7 through 15. Well, that would be it. It's the 5th study. 1 Corinthians 2, 7 through 15. and you just start listening. That's the real stuff we do. This is for funsies. This is a hobby. This keeps us focused on the fact that the Antichrist, we think we know who he is. We think he is here. He is just not the Antichrist yet. You cannot be the Antichrist unless you have risen from the dead, performing the abomination of desolation. There can't be a mark of the beast, which everybody in 2020 was like, oh, it's the poke. Me. I was just holding my side laughing. Like, no, that's not the mark. And we, of course, praise the Lord for the ability to have any wisdom, as I used to be a Catholic astrologer. That gives you any idea, like Nebuchadnezzar was the king of Babylon when the Lord called him. So you can be a Catholic astrologer when the Lord calls you. Believe it or not, it's all possible. So let's go over, let's check out, see, comments. Got a Christian comment, and a Christian comment. I skimmed through a couple of these yesterday. Good stuff. If you look at the Egyptian kneeling down on one knee, you will see multiple images of an Egyptian gods kneeling with one hand up. Anubis, the god-headed dog, also used in Freemasonic. I gotcha. Mystery Babylonian rituals. I forget the exact term used, but it has a name. Colin Kaepernick did the same thing. Very good. Thank you, sir. Love it, love it, love it. I just remembered as you were speaking, Super Bowl 47, the Blackout, the halftime performer was Destiny's Child. Hey, that's good to know. That's Bounce and her two buddies. Beyonce, halftime performer, Destiny's Child, Spear of Destiny. Trump was the tip of the spear, absolutely, in his military picture. Yep. And yeah, I saw that. You said We Seek and We Find showed us, and so did shaking my head. But a lot of that's been floating around ever since Trump Antichrist started taking hold, for sure. Good stuff. Could it possibly be Chiefs, the Spear of Destiny's child versus the 49? It first of all, it could possibly be any one of those four combinations or two combinations. It could be Chiefs Niners. It could be Chiefs Eagles. It could be Bengals Eagles. It could be Bengals Niners. There was a Bengals Niners Super Bowl once, and so if that's it, would have to go back and look at that previous Super Bowl. Could it possibly? But yes, of course it could possibly. But versus Chiefs, who were also in the blackout Super Bowl, 49ers lost to the Ravens on that one. Red, gold, purple. Yeah, the Ravens. Oof. Christian Bale just did a big deal with the Ravens. With the pale blue eye. It was all about Edgar Allan Poe was the other character in the movie. Revelation 17:4, the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls, having in her hand a golden cup full of the abominations and the filthiness of her fornication. Good stuff. Thank you, my friend. Last comment. I was thinking a little bit more about this event in Georgia. Devil went down to Georgia. Also, there was another recently that took place in Memphis. Elvis, Lisa Marie. I just saw news video where a person was holding up a sign. This is the one I skimmed through when I was reading through comments. I am Tyree. And of course, the Prince of Tyre out of the Bible. So I guess that's I'm Tyre. I am is the term used for God. Absolutely. The siege of Tyre was waged by Nebuchadnezzar II of Babylon for 13 years. 580. There's your 586. To 573, the siege of Tyre and Phoenicia has significant connection to the book of Ezekiel. It was mentioned that the city was fallen to Babylon forces a long time ago. Ezekiel 28. The king of Tyre is said to have been the Garden of Eden. definitely was. Says the actual reigning of Tyre could have been in the garden is Ezekiel 28:12-19, referring to Satan or the king of Tyre. We can go over that. So there's a fleshly king, and then there's the spirit behind the king. So let's get into Ezekiel. I believe that's Ezekiel 28. And you were giving us 12 through 19. So I'll do 1 through 19 just to make sure I've got the correct context of all this. Am I logged in? I am. So, son of man, say unto the prince of Tyre. Well, it's Tyrus. And that is a human king. Now the son of man, take up lamentation upon the king of Tyrus. This is the spirit behind it. This is Satan. So your enemies are not flesh and blood, but of course the fallen angel demonic realm, and humans who would be your enemies are of that spirit, the spirit against the sheep. So you've got Prince of Tyre, or Tyrus, human, king of Tyrus, Satan. And say unto him, thus saith the Lord, thou sealest up the sum, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. So that's how you know it's Satan. And all the other things before that concerning the prince, these were earthly type things. Thou hast increased in thy riches, so on and so forth. So good question, good stuff. Love it, love it, love it. Did we make sure that we're okay? We're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. So we just want to really do the grid for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a high watch day, the 29th. Because him rising on 1:31, I woke up the other day at 1:31 a.m. after asking the Lord if he could show us the time, give us the day. And the Lord does not always answer our prayers. The prayer is nothing more than bowing to the will of God. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Jesus even prayed, not my will, Father, your will be done. Of course, Jesus is God in the flesh. But the point is made that when you pray, your God is drawing in truth, because he knoweth the things you need before you ask. He's already ordained them from the beginning. He's drawn you to him to pray. So this doesn't mean that he answered my prayer when I tell you that, but I did wake up at 1:31, get up and go to the restroom. And so it's a possibility of either the rising day or the event day. And if it's the rising day, then the 29th would be the eliminator. I've already changed it to March 7th here, but up here you see January 29th. Day of the Dead, 6/30, 1985. Porsche 718 birth, that's big. Fahrenheit 119 on September 21st, that's big. Casino Royale, London premiere, that's big. Trump on Spin City. Well, when he goes down, the Spin City, the spin world will begin. Who did it and why? His death. He doesn't really die. They will pop a clone more than likely, as they've shown you that in the movie The Prestige. And in the final Star Wars, Palpatine was said to be dead. But no, he was alive, cloning. Dark science, secrets only the Sith knew. And Christian Bale, who is Batman, who is Trump, was cloned. Same director, same co-star actor, Michael Caine. Christopher Nolan directing both movies, the Dark Knight trilogy, and of course, The Prestige, where Christian Bale's character is cloned. So Trump on Spin City, 121.98. So that's a big deal. Total lunar eclipse in 78, and Miami Hurricanes natty, which signifies storm coming. If you include both dates, the 29th also is a total solar in 2020. It's room 222 that featured Karen Valentine, which was originally released on 9/11/1969. Trump saying, "I am the chosen one," August 21st, 2019. Obama's birth certificate, which Trump made a big deal out of. So Obama's birthday is a cipher to watch. CDC founding date, The Godfather release date, Omen release date, Batman Begins release date, Chariots of Fire release date, total lunar E, Osama bin Laden Day, Revolutionary War shot heard around the world, 1775, Trump's 9/11 speech, Trump saying he had the illness, track down episode where the guy gets shot named Trump, Saturday Night Live official beginnings, which is Studio 88, Studio 8H, 88, H, the eighth letter, October 11th, 1975, Johnny Carson, Jesus Christ, JC, Johnny Carson, final show aired May 22nd. So there's a lot going on for Championship Sunday, when the Phoenix could rise from the ashes, when you could see the Chiefs and the Eagles both victorious, the flame of the Chiefs, the Phoenix rising from the flames, as they would now be the Super Bowl teams, which we might not ever get to if he goes down on Sunday, the 29th. But that would be, their ritual, their coding, having the Eagles and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Then on Monday, the markets crash. And then he would rise and open the book of Revelation. He didn't open the book of Revelation, but his spiritual rising is the crowning event, so we would know that we're living in the book of Revelation in real time. Once Trump gets his deadly wound, we would figure on the third day or 2 days afterwards, he has that crown given to him. He does not earn it. And so Jesus' crowning in the Bible was his death and subsequent rising. Can't remember what that is. It's been a while. So it's Hebrews 2:9, but we see Jesus, who was made a little lower than the angels. So God came in as man, suffering of death, crowned with glory. So when Trump gets his death and subsequent crown given to him, I can't change that. I didn't mean to change that color, but it's okay. Crowned with glory and honor by the grace of God, should taste death for every man. So I think the crowning is the rising, could be the death. But I think it's death, crowned with glory when he rose, and honor when he rose, which was on the third day. And that's why they have the Dark Knight on July 18th released, and then the Dark Knight Rises released on July 20th, or on the third day or 2 days afterwards. So that's kind of the cipher or the code that we go by. And so there's a lot going on for the 29th. It's all of this, because you are allowed to include both dates, which kicks in everything on January 30th also. So it's a lot. Tomorrow's a big day. Then he would rise on the 31st, which is a total solar eclipse on 7/11 in 2010, which is September 11th. September was the 7th month. October, octagon, octopus, 8th month. December, decameter, decade, December 10th month, November 9th month, October 8th month, September 7th month. They were all bumped up too because Julius Augustus entered in for July and August, which bumped the others up. So everything's been coded, but they use, when they released No Time to Die, they did it on October 8th for 88. So usually when we see the 86th in days, that's the code for being 86th. And then the 88 is always the rising, which we showed you a while ago, 888 from Tenet, which is a day then we have to, keep an eye on. I should load that. So 886 on February 6th, that would be a one-time, but it's worth doing. So we will color code it, give it its own color, and say one time only, 886 days from okay. Super duper. And then on the 8th, it would be I don't think there's a need to, I don't know, we'll do it. So Tenet was already loaded for 888. I mean, for it being the progression of, but we did the one time only, which we'll get rid of. So it's interesting. We don't know what we don't know what the ciphers will be, what movies they will choose that will kick off the eventual date. It could not be, maybe it's all the way till 2024. 2024 is Year of the Dragon. But I like this year. I like this year big time for a myriad of reasons. That's about it. That is it. Yeah. By the way, if 131 or January 31st was about the event, then he does rise on Groundhog Day. But more on that later. Tomorrow, Championship Sunday. Can't wait to see it all. Their theater. It's so fake. And why at Telling Truth 3, I really go out of my way to show how fake football is because you can't grasp or understand how Biden, Trump, Hillary, politics is fake and scripted without really understanding it when you turn on and watch the news and they're all talking that it's Hunger Games programming. It's fake. Because look what they do in football. The exact same thing. They pretend like it's real. You watch your news at night, just your local news. They pretend like the NFL is real. Don't get me started on college football. My motto is, if you want to play on Sundays, you got to prove you can fake it on Saturdays. But it's all, all the world's a stage. All those players now getting paid millions. They already were. It was just hidden. And with social media, they couldn't hide it anymore because I was seeing the guy that I had in middle school on the Gators, and he's out there. He's all over the tropics with models, with gold. And I'm like, how'd all this happen? Because they've always been getting paid, not just when NIL started. NIL was to give you the cover. name, image, likeness. It's all about the image of the beast. Name of the beast, image of the beast, likeness of the beast. Transfer portal is all about the transfer portal that they showed you in the Dr. Pepper commercial, which is the transfer portal of time, which was from the movie Tenet. And we showed you that there is one on Tenet, which is 10 moving forwards and backwards. And the god Janus, named after January named after the god Janus, which sees forwards and backwards. Janus Tenet of 2022 was the official transfer portal date. Fascinating. It was the exact overlay month of the Donnie Darko October 88 month, which is how the Lord helped us figure that out. But when you go back 465 days on the transfer portal, Trump said he had the illness, which is called corona. You go up 465 days from January 10th, 2022, and you land on this coming total solar eclipse, which is a corona. So, anywho, oh, I know one thing I wanted to do with y'all. Now that I got you here, let's look at the total solars, or the total solar that was 251 days behind the midpoint day of when Sirius rose on August 12th. It was the total solar of the 4th of 2021. That would be 437, and it's 1 year, 2 months, 10 days. So 121 Antichrist is coded. You look at the hours, it's 104.88. So 148 for Donald J. Trump, fused with 88. We know that number 37. That was Earl's first two digits, 37044. But it's also the 12th prime number. So you go to the rising day, or the potential rising day of the 16th, and it's 1212, 1 year, 2 months, 12 days. It's 439. You have the number 9 coded there. But really, you know, yeah, I just love this. I still love the Valentine's Day being tops, but tomorrow's a big day. Or whenever you're watching this, Sunday, the 29th is a big day. And then Groundhog Day will be a big day. And then February 4th will be a big day. Well, the 3rd is also. I'm sorry. The 3rd's a big day. It's 2-3, which is the year, but it's 2 days before the full moon. And then you get in, you know, all of that, 4th, 5th, 6th, all big. And then things really start to taper off. The 10th is a Friday, so it must be looked at with the Super Bowl being the rising day. That has to be looked at strongly. But then it's off to Valentine's Day, really. So, and after that, you know, once you get past Valentine's Day, you know, there's lukewarm days all the way through, you know, February 23rd, which is 223 in the year 223. After that, I almost think you have to shelve everything. I shouldn't say that. You have to shelve that the abomination of desolation would be on the total solar eclipse. I just don't think they can kill 2 billion in that amount of time, can they? But I don't know. All right, love y'all.